What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back here with inspiration, motivation. As always, second of the day. We had a nice live early today. Talked about Colorado, how they dropped the ball. I think everybody's noticed that. Some people seeing a lot of what they call negativity and different people doing what you expect. The media doing what they expected to do. People being what they expected to be. They've already shown you, for the most part, there's not a lot of grace for Colorado, and a lot of people really want to see them fail. They just couldn't help but to kind of grit their teeth as Colorado exceeded pretty much every expectation already. And the fact that they could go on to go to the championship and to possibly the playoff, that just was a lot. And you can tell by the number of people who used to be in the chats and all of that talking, they're not there. Colorado really hasn't given them a lot of room to talk negative. I mean, outside of what we've seen in Nebraska and Kansas State, okay, they should have won that. But Colorado has, for the most part, played decent ball where people were afraid to speak up on them because you just didn't know. I made a video about Colorado being the most dangerous team. And I talked about both sides. I said they can be extremely dangerous because they're unpredictable. You can go play with them and they'll do something to you, or they can be dangerous to themselves. And that's what I said in the videos out there. That's what dangerous means. You can take it as one-sided, but the reality is Colorado has always been the biggest danger to themselves when it comes to not playing up to par or making games tougher than what they need to be, playing with your food, not putting the game away, late starts, all that good stuff. And talking about, for the longest, can't put a full game together. Why? I don't know. All the practice, all the planning. Who knows? Who knows? Will we figure it out? Hopefully. I've seen similar patterns with Jackson State. You can put it on the coach. You can put it on the quarterback. You can put it on the rest of the staff that came. Who knows what that thing? They need to figure it out. Because I said for weeks why they were winning. Everybody, you talking about they can't be happy. Oh, you talking about got something to say and they won. I mean, did they not win? Now they looking sad with a sad face. Just like I said, you got to clean up the stuff, the bad habits, because you only get away with them for so long. You only get away with late starts for so long until you play somebody who, as good as you are, has much talent as you do, and you get them a leg up, they're going to take it all away. Or if you get them an opportunity to come back, they will come back, just like you come back on people when you face that talent level. And you don't want to make a habit of doing that. You don't make a habit of keep letting people in the red zone think you're going to stop them on the goal line. Because eventually they're going to run that score up if they get in there. You can hold them to 3 field goals, there'll be 3 touchdowns. And we've been playing with fire like that. When people talk about it, I don't know what actions. I don't know. You can't say people not practicing. Can't say they don't know. Can't say they're not working on it. But it's clearly not effective. I personally believe it's more psychological. I've been the one who said most of the time it's sports psychologists. I've said a lot of things. Some of the things they have clearly implemented, acknowledged. They got to get a sports psychologist. I don't know if they have one. They should. And Coach Prime is kind of operating similar to one, but it's just really, really one-on-one with some of those guys on helping them to reach their full potential. Really starting with Shador. Shador is a guy that I've said very streaky, very elite when he wants to be, and he can be very nonchalant, delayed when he wants to. And it's hard to kind of say things about him because he's so productive in his percentage of numbers, but he could be so much greater. He could be the Heisman guy. And there's an inconsistency factor there. It is what it is. He knows that. Everybody knows that. It's not just team, it's him as well. His production. He can throw 400-500 yards. He can throw 260, 280, 290. He can throw 290, get 3 touchdowns. But that's what slow starts and all this stuff, taking a quarter 2 off. He really could be upper 300, 400 per game, easy. And it has a lot to do with how they start the games. It has a lot to do with how they finish the games when they do start the game. It's something he needs to look into, honestly. In addition to that running backwards and instead of throwing the ball away and taking sacks 20 yards, they are absolutely not going to accept that in the NFL. The fans going to be a lot harder on him. The media is going to be already hard, and they're going to be extremely hard on him as a pro. They're going to say he's not a kid no more. You're already going to come after you. And that's kind of like my biggest issue with these young guys. They have not acknowledged the fact that these people are not your friend. The people you think is your friend, not your friend. And the people who you don't think is your friend, is probably your friend because you don't want to hear the truth. A lot of people talk that talk, but they really not for you, or they'll turn on you. You know, they clout chasers. People love a clout chaser. People don't like real because, you know, you don't want to hear that real. These people not for you. You see the referees not for you. You see the media not for you. You see fans are not for you like you were wanting them to be. People have different motives. People have different capacity to deal with the crap you're doing. Like I said, I deal with it because of the bigger picture of it all, not just the football component. I was just footballing. They was ready to throw y'all away at Nebraska, I'm telling you. And people, I mean, it was already on a thin string. I mean, the rope was very, very short. And you looking at the fact that they talk about last year and, oh, here we go again. And you don't fully blame them, but it's just, you find out over time where people really stand. They can post your material and then turn on you. They can wear your clothes and then dog you out. I'm just going to simply point out the things to help you. Take it how you like. Everything I've been saying is to help. And Colorado simply didn't seize the moment. Twice. Didn't seize with Kansas State. They said you could have won that. This wouldn't have been a big deal. Regardless of what happened before this game, you knew exactly what you had to do. You knew exactly where you were. Teams had already been losing. A lot of teams lost yesterday too. But you was already in position. Wasn't no bunch of flu to do who you got to lose, they got to lose, and they got to win, and two people got to lose. It was none of that. It was just you win out, and you're good. Because really, BYU, even they lost again yesterday, and we predicted they were going to lose, they had already put themselves in a position where you was good. They said the destiny was in your hand. But it didn't quite play like that. It looked very much like Nebraska, and some components looked a lot like Kansas State. It had all the trimmings for all the worst games of the season. You tackled like you played in Kansas State, and you was just aloof and just nonchalant and couldn't get nothing going as much. And probably a little better than Nebraska, but very similar. You just was just spooked out. It's just like you didn't know, your mind wasn't made up. You got to win that game. You didn't play with no intensity. Even the coaches looked like they wasn't that spark from them. It's like everybody was just in shock or la la land or one. I don't know what was going on. The passion wasn't there. Was it the environment? I don't know. Was it the heebie-jeebie, the voodoo, the hooshu, or whatever? I don't know. Because, you know, it seemed like when something come over, you just be different. You just act different. You play different. I know it's possible. I know there's a lot of different ways it can happen. And I know it's real. And people overlook it, underestimate it, all up in them mountains and all that, you know. Sad to say, these people don't want Coach Prime there. Every time he go to praying, they make a big deal up there. You got to know what you're up against. And you can't underestimate it. You can't think you so above it, because clearly something is off, because you just get way out of character. I've always said it's bigger than sports. People have their reasons, they have their motives. And this typically ain't got nothing to do with the sport. It got all to do with that, whatever's inside of them. You don't know what's inside of people. They are straight on a payroll of an imp. They straight on the payroll of evil. And then be foolish enough, don't even know what they did. You got blackout serial killers around here. And that's just the extreme. But the reality is, people every day do dumb stuff and evil stuff to people. Don't even know why. Mad at people, don't even know why. Trying to hurt people, don't even know why. These people go around just in the streets, hurting people and killing people. For fun or for who knows what. For $1. So we can't act like, you know, the referees can't have a motive. We can't act like, you know, them ignoring certain stuff and letting stuff go on in that game is not a factor. But we also can't act like, you know, you coming out there playing like you in La La Land ain't a factor. And that you go to tackling like you ain't been tackling. Like you hitting people all hard, and now you arm tackling and reaching, and 4-5 people missing tackles like they playing 2-hand touch out there. Could practice be a factor and how you don't take? I don't know. You was tackling like you're at practice, like the whistle gonna blow when you touch them or something, or you just let them go and keep running. Don't take them down. It was all off. It was all the most wonderful, not wonderful components of the season that is not conducive to championship football winning. It was all the things that have caused you to lose before. We thought you had learned from them, you were over them. But at the end of the day, they say last time the moment was too big. That's what it was talking about in Nebraska. They say in Kansas it was a break, you didn't capitalize. But you got another chance. Last time we said a second chance. You ain't getting a third one. And we'll still talk about, oh, they lose this, but they add it and they can win that, but they lose all that. You can't play like that. You can't play like that. You go down and do the same junk. It's embarrassing. It's irritating. And then you win like that, and then you just didn't play us best game. We got to do better. Nobody, week after week. At some point, you got to make the change. Especially if you're thinking you're on the playoffs. Especially. And that's up to before now. That's all the harping I did up to before now. Don't let your bad habits and the crap you put on tape destroy your season. Just 2 games left. Not like you got to win 5. Just focus on 2. I don't know what was happening this week. I don't know how silly and immature people were, but something definitely was off. Do you not realize how much money you left on the table? You not realize the looks that you was going to get being in the championship game, the looks you was going to be in playing in the playoff, when less nobody playing but the playoff people, or you playing the teams that got the other NFL guys on there. You trying to get on there. You go to the little bowl game. You can go to the little senior bowls and Shriners and all that. But these scouts going to be at the games. And you could have been there too. But, you content maybe with making the bowl game. That was one of them things I was like, about. Like all the bowl talk is contradictory because you ain't doing both. You trying to get to the playoff or the bowl. Quit talking about the bowl. The bowl was already accomplished. Now, you're going to get exactly what you said. You're going to get that bowl game. But we all know nobody care about no doggone bowl game, especially when 12 teams say make the playoff. The big bowls are in the playoffs. And bowl games, people don't play because there ain't no point to them. They're not going to get injured for a bowl game. The season over. That's what you run into in the bowl game. You think nobody ain't coming to watch you like that at the bowl game. They're going to be over there at the first, second, third round at playoff. Championship. And you have to understand all that beforehand. You can't always be a victim and looking back at it and, oh, we should know. You have grace. You have, nobody's perfect. But you always got to do your best to seize every moment. You just got to do that. You can't always assume you're going to get another one. And when you're getting multiple chances to get it right, you got to do it. It's a small window of time. And that's a life lesson. That don't just apply on football. That apply to everybody watching right now. That apply to you. That apply to me. Whatever the opportunity is. It don't have to be on no football field. It can be in your career. It can be your business opportunity. It can be investments opportunities. It could be connections and relationships. We all have a window of time to get something done. And we have to be prepared. If we're not prepared, we squander it. And we only hope that we get another chance. We don't know when that's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be to the same level. In real life, you miss out on something. When you come back around to it, you're not getting 100%. You're not getting a full version of it a lot of times. You getting a portion of it. It's like, Bitcoin is the big thing now. It's like, Bitcoin is all that now. Everybody might want to flock to it because they a lot of people got to see stuff on the back end. They have no foresight. But, it's the whole difference between buying that Bitcoin when it was $1, $10, $100. Then we're trying to buy it at 99,000 or something, 98,000. That's the cost of waiting. That's the cost of not being prepared. And you always got to try your best to be prepared to take full advantage of opportunity, because you don't guarantee to get it again. And if you do get it, it ain't guaranteed to be the same opportunity, the same exact opportunity. So nobody can be really hard, because you can bash these players about not being that prepared, and then you can be the same way in your life. That's just spoken like a true hypocrite. We're not here to talk as a hypocrite. A lot of people love to do that. They love to put a standard on people they're not willing to put on themselves. We all can learn from Colorado. In real life, we gotta be ready. We can't half prepare. We cannot not take it serious. We gotta put our all into it so we can reach the full potential. And the full potential, most people don't reach, because they either not prepared, they don't show up, or they just come in and are just playing around with it. I get another chance. Or I ain't got to do that much. I still get what I want. I can do it at 0.5%. Then we don't get it. You get to have that good old victim conversation, and then, well, if I only did this, I wish I can go back. It's like you get off more on saying that than actually doing what you know you need to do. It was clear what they needed to do, yet they didn't do it. That all goes back to choice. That all goes back to preparation. That all goes back to mindset. You gotta get your mind right. You want to be great, you gotta get your mind right. Everybody want to be great, but everybody don't want to do what it takes to be great. And that ain't just me. But I'm Greg. Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. And I'll talk to y'all soon.